Day 7. The return trip. We wanted to see a couple points of interest in Scotland's capital, where we'd spent the night, and when, exhaustedly, we'd loaded Jim up again, we set about navigating the dingy, daylight-lit suburbs from the night prior. At one point, we stopped to give way at a junction. The road we were crossing was particularly wide, and I edged us forward to get a clearer view. A tentative man threw a suspicious gaze our way as he placed a foot on the road across from us. He hesitated as he began to shift his weight forward, when suddenly we had a chance. A gap in the traffic. I jabbed the throttle, threw my foot off the clutch, and Jim's spare tyre nearly touched the ground as we launched over the junction. If the archaic rumble of a worn-out M13A engine didn't give away our intentions, the tooth-tingling, toe-curling, belt-induced caterwauling that cut through the cool morning air certainly vocalized our plans to the man ahead. His response? A dramatic flail of the arms, followed by an aghast backward stagger. He watched us disapprovingly as we passed him, his right knee tucked up and over his left leg, with his hands clenched together over his shoulder, and a slowly shaking head to top it all off. To be fair, I don't blame him. It was an awful ruckus. Now, back to what's unfolding before your eyes. After disconnecting the battery, I loosened the two upper bolts that hold the tension slide on and in place. Next, I removed the mile-long lower bolt. Having either loosened or removed the bolts that hold the alternator in place, I disconnected the earth cable and then fully removed the two upper bolts. With that out the way, all that was left to do was to awkwardly struggle against a still plugged-in alternator. Now that my two brain cells had caused a sufficient amount of friction, I pulled the old alt out and lowered the new one in. First, I got the slide and two top bolts back in place. Then I pinched the earth cable in place with two nuts, and contorted my hand behind the alt to plug in the electrical bits. Satisfied that I wasn't forgetting anything, I then spent a working week doing up the bottom bolt. After getting the belt to a tension of probably a quarter turn, I did one last tighten of the bolts to a torque setting of please don't go missing. As if I was defusing a bomb, I connected the negative battery terminal, clambered behind the wheel, and started Jim up. Surprisingly, there was no squeal, and reassuringly, his check engine light from his secondary lambda was now off. Whether or not it'll return, we'll have to wait and see. Thank you for watching, and please be sure to like and follow for more Jimny related videos. And join me next time when I'll be replacing Jimbo's thermostat.